For your party overall, now that Trump is in office, we're not seeing the same kind of response that we did in 2017 when he first took office. It seems like Democrats are lost. And tell me if you disagree with that in terms of strategy and what comes next. And, you said that Democrats who attended the inauguration and called Trump a threat to democracy were essentially being hypocritical, because why would they go if that's what they really believed? For the Progressive Caucus and for progressive Democrats and all Democrats.
But also, you have to remember, Trump himself did not attend Biden's inauguration.
Yeah.
Even though he was the outgoing president that was supposed to, help with that transition. They didn't have the decency to invite the Bidens to the White House. And so just the level of indignity that they'd shown and disrespect to tradition, to me, said no one should show him dignity and respect.
Do you think President Biden handled that wrong? Because, he greeted him, he said, welcome home, he left him a letter. I mean, he followed all of the traditions that typically you see an outgoing president follow.
President Biden has always been a real American, a patriot. And I think the fact that he did not have a peaceful transition and it was challenging for him, wanted to show the American people how to do it and remind them. And I think there were some exceptions of some of the folks that could have been there for that sort of purpose. But to have the mass number of people that showed up that really didn't have a reason to be there.
You think more Democrats should have skipped it?
Yeah, to me, it sent the wrong message.
And what is that message?
That message is that this person that we told you is going to destroy our democracy and is currently in the process of dismantling everything we hold dear. I'm going to sit here and congratulate him and pat him in the back and clap for him. That's not a good message.
Yes, the Democrat Party is in a free fall. What I noticed the past few weeks with the Democratic Party, since Trump won till today, they are confused. They don't even know what exactly is going on. Some are blaming, Obama should not attend Trump inauguration. Biden should not attend. I don't just understand what exactly is happening to these people. They are confused. What exactly? Today I reported a video about Michelle Obama. I don't know, stories are surfacing everywhere that they want to separate. Because of this Hollywood actress, things like that. From one story to another, now taking a look at what is actually happening. At a certain point, I didn't want to comment on this, but it is important. I show you some videos. If you're not subscribed and you love what I'm doing here, please click the subscription button and turn on your notification. When I drop, you will easily be notified.
This is the kind of truth of where we are. In all of it, we know Biden, but actually we know, you and I know him personally. And I think it's fair to say that we're a long time at some level admirers of Joe Biden. And what he's done to himself is no one wants to hear from this guy anymore. Okay? Right. Just go to your condo in Rehoboth and stay there. And that's not because we're bad people or we mean people. It was all his doing. All his doing. This entire thing. In this kind of petty back and forth, I would have beat Trump. And no one fucking believes that at all. And then fighting with Joe Biden and Alexander Pelosi. I mean, just look, guy, you had a noble career. Your last act was terrible. Just get out of the way. The party's moving on. I mean, they're really moving on. And it's very sad but that's just where we are. And he created this himself. He has nobody to blame but himself.
Right. Yes, a lot of these people are actually confused. They are moving on. Nobody wants to listen to Biden again, but they don't know where they can go to. That is what I've realized. When you take a look at this, you can clearly see the Republican Party is still topping. Watching a video from CNN today, it clearly shows me that people love what Trump is doing. Trump has been in office just for, I think, just 2 days. what he has done, Biden has not been able to achieve that. That is according to the information I see on social media. I don't want to express myself pertaining to that. I want to just report the news on what I observe. Democrat at this time thought Gavin Newsom could be the president, but what he has done in California, Gavin Newsom cannot win an election right now. I mean, a general election. It's impossible. He will not be able to win.
The American people really like what they're seeing, at least compared to where Donald Trump started 8 years ago, right? All right, this is Donald Trump's net approval rating. This is Reuters Ipsos. It's among adults. It was taken the first few days of this administration. Look here. Back in January 2017, Donald Trump became the first president in history to start his presidency with a net negative approval rating. Look at where we are now in January 2025. Considerably better at plus 6 points. That's up 9 points. To borrow a Donald Trump phrase, this is big league. This is a sign that the American people, at least initially, like what they're seeing. And so you see right here, more Americans approve of Donald Trump's job than disapprove. And that is very much unlike what we saw 8 years ago.
So compare the rating now to the entire first term.
Yeah. So it's not just that he's doing better than where he was doing 8 years ago. It's that he's doing better than he ever did during his entire first administration. So I again look
He never was over plus 3?
He was never over plus 3. The highest rating his highest ever net approval rating was plus 3 in March of...
Your choice of photo is quite
He likes
amazing.
what he's seeing. He's smirking at the American media.
He just doesn't like you.
Maybe not, although he should like these numbers and the way I'm presenting them. You look at January 2025, look at that. Again, you get plus 6. So Donald Trump isn't just in a better position than he was 8 years ago at this point. He's in a better position than he was at any point during his entire first term. Things have very much turned around. This is a very different Donald Trump. He's leading a very different administration the way he's attacking things. And the American public is very much more in line with him than they were at any point during his entire first term.
Well, I would say, correction, this is not a very different Donald Trump. This is a very different Donald Trump as being viewed by voters in this
In the
moment.
way he's going about things with Susan Wiles leading things. I think he is, going at things in a much less disorganized fashion, much more organized.
Take me back in history.
The mainstream media is not happy when they report news like this about Trump. They are not excited. They are not happy at all. Reading articles the other day, CNN boss instructed these people not to bash Trump. If you dare it, you can easily be fired. So their tone toward Trump is changing. They spent the whole year bashing him. Now, when you look at the way they're reporting, it is different from what we are observing, because their ratings started going down and they even decided to fire people, or they are still to do it. That is just a message to them.
So Democrats aren't just unhappy about this, they're turning on each other. That's right. The Hill reports that Jill Biden is mad at Nancy Pelosi after she called for her husband, Joe, to step down. You remember that? And that Kamala Harris feels dissed by Joe Biden for saying that if he had stayed in, he would have won the presidency. Congress is also butting heads about the best path forward. So how long can they afford to hold a grudge with each other before working on a plan to get power back? I ask you.
I was going to defer to the Democrats, but I'll go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say that they need to stop fighting with each other and actually go back to their districts and their states and check in with the people that put them in office. Because the infighting, they all get... I really despise Congress and their lack of ability to do anything, not to mention the dirty money that circulates there. But they get so obsessed with each other, not just Democrats. Republicans do the same thing. They all play power games, partisan jerseys are put on. They need to go home. They need to go home and check back in and get a reality check.
Brooklyn accent. I went to college with him. I know him extremely well, and he talks real talk. And I have a completely different take on this. I think the Democrats are actually falling in line as opposed to fighting with each other. We just saw the Democrats, many Democrats, cross the aisle and work with Republicans on the Laken-Riley Act. And that act is basically going to allow undocumented migrants, immigrants, to be deported even if they are accused of a crime.
Even if just accused.
Just accused of a crime. Which is something
This is actually annoying. If someone committed a crime in your country, you should allow the person. That is according to Sonny Hosten. You should not deport the person. Hi. This is something, in fact, every person was supposed to support the bill. Yeah, because it's very normal not to allow criminals, but they will turn the story like if they just suggest that you commit a crime. I want to end the video by saying this for people who have been following me. You realize at the end of the day, I usually put videos at the end. This is for the algorithm. If you see this, you can skip. You can watch the video to a certain level and stop.
Where awful things have happened. So, and sparks move things. And it doesn't matter how much water you have.
Future president and his gag are a funky in policy.
The city of the Pacific Palisades is burning. And, I flew here last night.
You getting water to areas that need water.
for the work that he's been trained his whole life to do.
What do we do?
Right now you're looking history, remember it.
As a country about January.
Yeah, and then I think all our tax dollars probably went for Gavin's hair gel. I don't know, but it's like, it's sad.
Jordan.
In the 5 tenants of
Palisades Village right here. This is the town center of sorts.
And he did this little dance.
Josh Green, the governor of down in Hawaii, who had some.
And then we watch the news or talk to my friends.
Of all the calls you get from your
Got to spend a minute on the Obamas, or is it because there's trouble in paradise? There
Please do
believing I know the process.